Oh, forget the bloody Maharaja. The bloody Great Khali's back. What the bloody hell does he think he's doing? The Great Khali comes back to end the Battleground pay-per-view. They're cheeky little shit. Now, what did you guys think of the Battleground pay-per-view? Today, I'm doing my review of the Battleground 2017 pay-per-view. So we're actually going to start in chronological order just to make sure I don't miss anything off. So we will talk about the Great Khali, we will talk about the Punjabi prison match, but just to clarify, I'm not actually in an Indian or Punjabi prison myself, even though it does look like it. It's actually 4 AM, so I found like the quietest room in the house to do my review for you guys. So just to clarify, that's where we are. However, SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match kicked off the Battleground pay-per-view, and I thought this was a brilliant way to start the Battleground pay-per-view. I actually really like it when they start pay-per-views off with a Tag Team Championship match, because they're such a fun way to start pay-per-views off, aren't they? They're fun, they're fast-paced, they're interesting, and they're always exciting. I bloody love tag matches, especially for the title, and especially when it kicks off a show like this. What a great way to start off the Battleground pay-per-view, and especially when you get a title change. You get a title change. The New Day are the new Tag Team Champions on SmackDown Live. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that to kick off the show, does it? Really enjoyed this match. It was actually even better than their match at Money in the Bank, which was good, but that match ended in count-out, which is a bit shit. But this one was pretty perfect. It was very good. Now, JBL made a very good point when this match started, saying that the New Day and the Usos are probably two of the best teams we've had in the last decade, and that's probably true, and they probably proved it in this match. It was a very fun match, very fast-paced. Xavier Woods was really good. Really like this match. It's about time they put the belts on the New Day. Yeah, really like this match. I'm now really looking forward to a rematch at SummerSlam between these two as well. Maybe if they add in like a stipulation, something like that to make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, I'm definitely sold on a rematch at SummerSlam. I think the New Day winning the belts here definitely opens the division up a little bit. It definitely opens the division up, and it definitely needed that. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. This one should be very good, and yeah, great match, great way to start off the show. The next match we had was actually Shinsuke Nakamura against Baron Corbin. Now this one ended a little bit weirdly because Shinsuke Nakamura got hit in the bollocks. He got hit in the balls, which obviously isn't very good. Now, it's actually kind of a clever way to end the match because none of them took a loss. Now, Nakamura doesn't need to take a loss because technically he only came in a few months ago and he needs to start stacking up some wins because he's not really doing much at the moment. So he needed a win here and he definitely didn't need a loss. But neither did Baron Corbin. He didn't need a loss either because he's missed the Money in the Bank. He needs to be winning all the time to sort of prove to people that, yeah, he deserves this position and he's going to be a world champion when he cashes in. So, neither of them really needed a loss, which makes you question why did they really book this match in the first place if they don't want either of them to lose. But they got away with it because, basically, Baron Corbin and the nasty heel hit Nakamura in the balls, which caused a disqualification. So, it's alright booking, but did they really need to book this match in the first place if they didn't want any of them to lose? It was a pretty decent match. Haven't really been too impressed with Nakamura since he did come into the main roster. He sort of had that feud with Dolph Ziggler for a while, which was basically shit. But this one was actually quite good. I think Baron Corbin's improved a lot, and he seems to put on matches that are good, consistently good, with a lot of the people on the roster. So yeah, I quite enjoyed this match. Bit of a disappointing finish. It's nice to get clean finishes on pay-per-views, but I can understand why they did do it. But yeah, a pretty solid match and got the job done. Kind of wondering when Corbin is going to cash in that thing now. But yeah, really looking forward to that. And I think Corbin is really improving very quickly. Nakamura, I like to see them do a little bit more with him. He doesn't really know what they know to do with him at the moment. But yeah, pretty solid match. What else I thought was a solid match was the women's match. I was actually quite pleasantly surprised with this match. It was actually quite good. Yeah, I wasn't really impressed when they booked this match because it just kind of feels like they don't really know what to do with the women, and when they don't know what to do with the women, they sort of just throw them all in one match together, which kind of felt like what they did here. And it was also kind of disappointing that Naomi, the champion, wasn't defending on the pay-per-view. Now, she wasn't commentary. I thought she was going to do a terrible job. She did alright. She did alright. This match was actually surprisingly, pleasantly decent. Quite enjoyed it. I thought it was very, did the job. Not really too happy with the winner, but I thought it was a wrestling match, and it was alright. It was pretty entertaining. So a lot of the first half of the match was kind of involving Lana and Tamina. We still kind of don't really know what's going on there. I actually went for Tamina to win this match, which made me look like a bit of a dick when she was the first person to be eliminated and she actually ended up tapping out. She looked like an absolute bitch. I looked like a retard for predicting Tamina was going to win. No chance. She had absolutely bloody no chance. Awful prediction from me, but as soon as Tamina went, they all started going off like flies. It was like, Tamina went, next minute, we're down to the final two. It went just like that. Now, it was an entertaining match. Yeah, fast-paced. Everybody got their sort of stuff in, but Natalya winning? Seriously? I mean, SummerSlam's their second biggest show of the year, and every match has got to count. Every match has got to be good at SummerSlam. It's a dual-brand pay-per-view, so every match matters, every minute matters, and for SmackDown to book Natalya against Naomi in one of their biggest matches at the show at SummerSlam, second biggest pay-per-view of the year, and you've got Natalya and Naomi for the championship. Is that any good? Really? I'm sure they could have done a little bit better with that. I'm pretty disappointed. I mean, if it's a SummerSlam match, right off the bat, when they announce a SummerSlam match, you've got to be excited. Right now, I'm not excited. Now, they might convince me in later weeks that this is going to be a good match, but at SummerSlam, you've got to be excited straight away for each match. And that's not how I feel. So, big disappointed about this. The finish was a bit dodgy as well. Just like Natalya slamming Charlotte into a post and then winning. I feel like Alexa Bliss used that finish only a few months ago at Extreme Rules or something against, was it Bayley or something? I had a bit of a weird deja vu with that finish, and it wasn't that creative either. And that was the second dodgy finish we got in a row as well. So, yeah, alright match, but Naomi against Natalya, I'm not convinced they can build that match up very well. And, yeah, pretty disappointed in that. Next match we got was the United States Championship between AJ Styles against Kevin Owens, and another screwy finish. We got 3 screwy finishes in a row. Not really sure about that. Did they need this screwy finish? I'm not too convinced. Now, it does look from this that we're going to get AJ against Kevin Owens again at SummerSlam, which I'm not too happy, because I would have liked to see Shinsuke against AJ for the title, John Cena against AJ for the title, Owens against AJ again at SummerSlam. Is that really something people want to see? It's not what I want to see. After this match, I did kind of enjoy this match. I just sort of feel like Kevin Owens has gone off the boil a bit ever since he won that Universal Championship. I feel like his pay-per-view matches always feel a little bit lazy to me. They always feel like they've got like way too many rest holds in them. They're a little bit slow to start, and a little bit sluggish. Once this match got going, it was all right, but I was never really a fan of this feud. I don't know why. It just never seemed to click with me. I think when they made that whole ordeal about AJ winning the title at Madison Square Gardens, there's no way he was going to drop it again at the pay-per-view tonight, and he did. What are they doing? It just feels like a little bit of a waste of time, really. And the worst thing about the match was the ending. The referee gets knocked out, which was quite a good knockout, all things considering. Kevin throws AJ, almost tosses him into the referee. He does toss him into the referee. He goes flying. He's down for about 4 minutes, like they usually are. And then we get like a sort of submission ordeal between the two. Next minute, Kevin rolls him up, and AJ is he's getting pinned, and it's not like the greatest pin of all time. And the referee looks at it, and he does like, instead of a 3 count, it's like a 10-second count. And for some reason, AJ doesn't kick out, even though it takes the referee about 10 seconds to do the count. So this made absolutely no sense. A former WWE champion getting pinned after about 10 seconds. It's a bit daft. Doesn't really make a lot of sense in the whole grand scheme of things. Do we want to see AJ against Kevin again at SummerSlam? Bit confused about this one. Anyway, moving on. Flag match, John Cena against Rusev. Now, this is a bit of a throwback to 2015, which in 2015 was a very, very good feud. It was exciting. I think they had about 3 or 4 matches at pay-per-view level, and they were all very good. But that should have been left there. And the fact that they brought this back a few weeks ago felt a little bit lazy to me, and it lacked a little bit of creativity. And I think after that feud, from what I remember in 2015, we're all a little bit exhausted after that feud, because it was a good feud, but it was a little bit exhausting because it did go on for a few months. So to bring it back, out of anybody on the roster, they had John Cena face Rusev. Lacked a little bit of creativity there, people, in a flag match of all matches. Like, come on. This just felt a little bit 2015 for me. But it was an alright match. It was just a bit of a cringe fest, really. After all those promos John Cena did leading up to this match, they were all a bit cringy. And then when it came to the match, it was a little bit cringy. It was a little bit cliche. It was all, oh yeah, John Cena, America, woo. And you just knew John Cena was going to win. There was no way he was going to lose. So yeah, it wasn't too exciting. It went on for bloody ages. There's a few flaws in this match as well that I thought. Now, it was different to most flag matches because they had to bring it up to the stage where there was like a pole that they had to plant it on. But if I was in that match, I would have taken the competitor's flag and kept it to myself, because if you take their flag, there's no way they can win. So what I would have done is I would have taken their flag and either hidden it or kept it to myself or thrown it into the crowd. There was many times where Rusev just walked past John Cena's flag. If he took it with him, there's no way John Cena can win, because Rusev's bloody got it, boys. And also, there was a spot where Rusev picked up the actual pole John Cena was supposed to plant his flag down on and hit John Cena with it, and then placed it right back where he got it from. Now, surely if Rusev tossed that away, then there's no way John Cena can win without getting the thing and putting it back on the steps. But after he hit him with it, he put it right back where he got it from, which was a little bit daft. Apart from that, it was alright. It was quite, I don't know, it just felt a bit 2015-ish. It felt like we'd already seen this before. Not an outstanding match, not an outstanding return for John Cena either, just lacked all kind of creativity, really. So hopefully they do something a little bit more creative at SummerSlam. But yeah, it sort of did the job, but yeah, it is what it is. Next match was Mike Kanellis, in a pretty disappointing pay-per-view debut, I think. Overall being a pretty disappointing debut overall for the two. Against Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn actually gets the win in a debut for Mike Kanellis at pay-per-view level, which is a bit weird because you would have thought Mike was going to win his debut at a pay-per-view, but no. Not sure what to think about this. Do WWE, are they slowly realising that nobody really gives a shit about this kind of crappy gimmick they've got on between Maria and Mike? It's not really that original. We kind of see sort of Miz and Maurice doing it on Raw, really, just like sort of overtly kissing each other and showing affection to each other. That's really what it is. It's not very creative. It's not really engaging or fun, or it's nothing really. So yeah, I'm not too bothered that Mike lost here because I really don't like the gimmick. It's not doing anything for me. So Sammy gets the win. Nice to see Sammy get the win for once because he never bloody wins. But it was alright. I kind of forgot this match was happening, so when the John Cena and Rusev match ended, I was like, yes, finally, Punjabi prison match, I can do the review, I can go to bed, but then we had to sit through this Sami Zayn match. I was like, yeah, I didn't really want to see this. And yeah, the last and final match was the Punjabi prison match, which was alright from what I could see. You couldn't see a lot. When they were in the little bit in the middle, in the first cage, I thought that bit was a little bit predictable. I thought it was a bit sluggish, a bit slow. Clearly you knew what they were going to do. You knew they were going to open all three doors and it was going to be the fourth one they were going to escape from. Like, that was bloody obvious. Bit predictable. Once they get out of the first cage, it actually got quite interesting. I thought the Singh brothers added a nice dynamic to it. I thought it was really cool when one of them could actually get through the cage and then he went out. He was that small he could go through it. And then he caught Randy Orton, and then he actually ended up going for the announce table. I thought that was quite a cool little thing to do, where he could actually go through the fucking cage. Really cool RKO from Randy, obviously, when he reversed the Colossus into the RKO. That was actually when Jinder Mahal actually escaped the cage for the first time. But yeah, overall it was an alright match. I thought it was definitely, the second half of the match was definitely better than the first half of the match. Once they escaped the first cage, it got a lot better, and once the Singh brothers got involved, it got a lot more exciting, and it felt more like a main event. Yeah, nice to see a Punjabi prison match return. I don't know if I want to see it again for a while. It did sort of mix things up in this feud, but yeah, hopefully this feud is now over. I think maybe Khali's heading into a match with Randy Orton. I don't really know what this whole Khali return thing means, because how far can the Great Khali really go? Because one we saw from his first run, they can't really wrestle for shit. I can wrestle better than the Great Khali, so is the Randy Orton against the Great Khali convincing at SummerSlam? I'm not too sure, but I thought that was a cool way to end the match. Definitely memorable. It'll be interesting to see how they do book Great Khali with Jinder Mahal. Are they going to kind of form some kind of stable with the Singh brothers? That's quite interesting. Yeah, maybe they could do that, because I don't think Great Khali going out on his own is really going to work, because it definitely didn't work on the first time. But yeah, I thought it was really cool how he just came out, he shaked the fucking cage like mental, and choked Randy Orton out, which was awesome, and Jinder Mahal sort of wins the match. I'm sort of getting a little bit slightly frustrated seeing Jinder sort of win in this fashion every time. I know that's kind of the gimmick, that he's sort of a fraud champion, but it just gets sort of frustrating after a while, because they do it a lot. They did it with Seth Rollins, with his whole reign, with J&J Security. They did it with Kevin Owens, with him and Chris Jericho, and now they're sort of doing it with Jinder. So they do sort of slide down this pole a lot with sort of fraud champions, or what they like to call it. But overall, a pretty decent main event. I thought it did deliver, definitely the second half. Flag match was alright, it served the purpose. It was alright. I was quite looking forward to the tag match. That was really, really good. New champions, which I predicted. My predictions overall weren't that great. I did predict Jinder to retain his title. Where Jinder goes for SummerSlam is kind of interesting. I think maybe it is looking like likely John Cena will face Jinder at SummerSlam, which is a bit worrying for Jinder, but we'll have to see how that transpires. Overall, a sort of average pay-per-view, really. I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't anything amazing. I thought the first half of the pay-per-view was very, very good. Shinsuke against Corbin delivered. The tag match delivered. The women's match delivered. Yeah, AJ against Kevin sort of delivered. But I think the second half, around sort of like the second hour in between there, sort of was a bit sluggish. It picked up in the main event, obviously. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. My rating is going to be a 7 out of 10. Comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe. Smash the likes. Take care. Spike your hair.